Hello guys, how are you? Cryptus here. I hope my sound is good. The first part of this video is not gonna be about Delphi. It's gonna be about my trip to Colombia. Uh, I was visiting the Pablo Escobar's graveyard and the house where he was killed. So the first part of this video is gonna be about that. Um, I don't know if you know, guys, but Medellin is my hometown. So it's gonna be cool to talk about my roads to you guys if you are interested. So I'm not gonna do any clickbait here. This first part of the video is not about Delphi, so just for you to know. In the meantime, I'm gonna play a song while waiting for you guys. So as usual, I'm gonna play one of my favorite songs, which is Freaks by Softcore. So, guys, as you know, I don't know if you know, but I'm from Medellin, Colombia. And a couple of weeks ago, I went to Colombia. I made a trip to visit my family there. And one of the objectives of my trip was to go to the Pablo Escobar graveyard and also to the house where he was killed. So I made like a small documentary, let's say, we can call it like that. And I'm gonna play that mini documentary, and I'm gonna talk about it a little bit. Uh, I did that trip with my family. My father is a little bit sick, so I wanted to profit to be with him during that trip. So I'm gonna share. I'm gonna show that documentary I made, mini documentary, let's say. And if you have questions of if you want to call, you're welcome to do it. So thanks for being here. I'm just gonna play this, and if you have questions, I'm gonna be glad to answer to you guys.
Hello guys, how are you? I'm here right on the graveyard of Pablo Escobar. I just want to make something clear. This video is not an apology to Pablo Escobar. This guy inflicted a lot of pain to every single person living here in Medellin because of his actions. However, I cannot close my eyes. I cannot pretend that this guy didn't exist. It's part of my history, sadly, and my interest in Pablo Escobar is purely from the historical perspective.
So this part is just after. Thank you, Human Animal. Thank you for letting me know that the sound is good. So after landing in the airport of Medellin, Colombia, there's a lot of mountains there. So we were driving to Medellin, which is the city. That's my hometown, and that's the city where Pablo Escobar was living, and the city where he was killed. And there's a lot of mountains. So at this point, I'm just gonna show you the view of my city there.
We are here outside Medellin. We can see right here the city of Medellin. We're gonna go later there to visit the Pablo Escobar's graveyard. This is an image for you guys. Enjoy the view. We're just arriving to the house where Pablo Escobar was killed. We're very close. I'm gonna show you guys the house here.
Yeah, Human Animal, the horses are awesome. There are horses everywhere. They work hard, as you say. The view of the mountains is awesome. So we are right here in Medellin. We're approaching to the house where Pablo Escobar was killed. Actually, I was living there in Medellin at the time he was killed, and I was living really close to this to this house. Hello, Deja Vu. How are you? I'm glad you're here. So this area is really familiar to me. It's like a couple of blocks from my house. I'm gonna talk a little bit more about that after that. So let's the video. Almost there.
Prior reports are quoting local radio and police sources in Colombia as saying that drug lord Pablo Escobar has been killed in the city of Medellin.
So we're here. Right here, this is the house where Pablo Escobar was killed. December 1993. I was living here in Medellin at the time. So hello guys, how are you? This is the place, this is the house where Pablo Escobar was killed. The official narrative is that the Colombian army killed Pablo Escobar in conjunction with the DEA and the FBI right here. So this is a very historical place in Medellin, Colombia. I was living very.
I'm just gonna stop here to answer to you. Hi, Wata. Hey, Cryptex. I'm gonna show your. Hey, Cryptex. The citizens of Medellin loved Pablo. Yes, he was very generous to them. This is like a 50-50 perception, the poor people of Medellin, they love Pablo. Actually, he constructed like a big neighbor or a big, almost a city for the poor people, for the homeless people. He constructed a lot of houses for them to live there. So those people, they love Pablo Escobar. They didn't have any chance in life to have a house, and he constructed houses for them. So a lot of people here in Medellin, yes, they love Pablo Escobar, and actually they call him the Robin Hood of Colombia or of Medellin. So you're right. The guy was very generous, but he was a monster at the same time. So that's what I'm gonna talk about it here. But you have a good point.
Very close to this house at the time he was killed. A lot of people said that he killed himself. I think that's very likely. He always said that he preferred a grave in Colombia instead going to a prison in United States. The day he died, that was on December 1993, there were a lot of helicopters flying around all over the place here in Medellin, Colombia. And right after, we heard on the news that Pablo Escobar was killed. He was actually killed in the roof located behind the house. We're going to walk to that area to show you guys where was the final place where he died. So let's go to the roof where he was killed. So guys, right behind me, we have the roof where Pablo Escobar was killed. We're here in the sector known as La America. This is like the neighborhood where Pablo Escobar was killed here in Medellin. He was surrounded at the time by the Colombian Army, the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, and the FBI. There was like three armies following and chasing Pablo Escobar. So right behind me, we have the roof where he got killed. Or
So that time here or there in Medellin was really horrible. I can tell you guys that almost every week we could see like explosions everywhere in the city. It was really scary. We didn't know if we would be able to make it because Pablo Escobar was placing bombs or explosions everywhere to kill police officers. I actually lived right next to a police station, which was like one of the, how can I say that, potential military objectives of Pablo Escobar. So that was horrible. Every time I was in the living room with my family, when we saw like an explosion from the balcony, we put the news in the radio, and that was horrible. That was a hard time for us guys. I'm glad my family was not injured. I was not injured, and anyway, let's continue with the video here, guys.
where he killed himself, that's a big mystery. I'm inclined for the last option. I think he killed himself. Again, he preferred a grave here in Colombia instead of a prison in United States. Tomorrow, we are gonna go to the Monte Sacro Cemetery. That's the place where the Pablo Escobar's graveyard is located. So let's continue with this trip, guys. Stay with me.
To answer to Deja Vu, how old were you? I think I was just finishing my university, so I think I was like maybe 21, 22 years old. That was a long time ago. The date he was killed was 1993 or 1992, if I'm not mistaken. So I was just finishing my university at the time. Here water. So he was only killing the police, or were there rival drug gangs? That must have been scary cryptics. How old were you when you left? Well, actually, I left Medellin some years after Pablo Escobar was killed to another place in Colombia, another city, just because I found a job there, and then I came here to Canada. He was only killing the police. That was the main target, let's say. But at one point, he was killing politicians, and he had a big, how can I say that, a big war against other cartels in Colombia. So he entered into a war with almost everyone. He was in a war against the police, against the Colombian army, against the DEA, the Drug Enforcement Agency, against the FBI, against the Pepes. That was the worst army, let's say. The Pepes is like people persecuted by Pablo Escobar. That was like a paramilitary army who was working in conjunction with the Americans, the cartels who were against Pablo Escobar. So everyone, the rest of the world was fighting Pablo Escobar. So I don't know how was he able to survive during a lot of years to that war. Yeah, let's play the video here.
I'm here in Medellin, my hometown, with my family. This is my brother, JD, at the back, my father. So we are going to visit Pablo Escobar graveyard. So today we're going to visit one of the graves more famous here in Medellin, Colombia, which is the grave of the king of cocaine, Pablo Escobar, the biggest drug dealer in the history of the mankind.
So just a quick stop here. I'm here with the camera. Next to me, this is my father. One of the objectives of this trip was to be with him because he's a little bit sick. He lost a lot of weight. He's like almost 80 or more than 80 years old. And you can see that he's like, he's a strong man. But even though he's losing a lot of weight, so I was a little bit worried about him. So let's continue with the video.
This is Medellin city here. You see the mountains there. A lot of construction right now. It was not like that before. Before you could see only the mountains. Right now there's a lot of construction there. So this is the grave of Griselda Blanco. She was known as the Black Widow. She was the one who started with the drug business here in Colombia. He was like the teacher of Pablo Escobar, and the killing and the murders between narcos started with this girl, with this woman. She was very violent. Right now, there's a TV series, a TV show in Netflix called Griselda. The star in this series is a Colombian actress. She's Sofia Vergara, a very beautiful girl who suffered a big transformation to perform Griselda in the Netflix TV show. So this is another historical grave. It's right here in the same cemetery where Pablo Escobar is buried. My brother is in charge of the camera here, and my father is just doing the coordination, supervision. He's the big guy here in this tour.
Coordination.
Yes, sir.
So we're approaching the graveyard of Pablo Escobar. There were a lot of people from everywhere Costa Rica, if I'm not mistaken, people from United States. There was a guy like he was leading a tour with some tourists there. So we are close to the graveyard of Pablo Escobar.
I'm here right on the graveyard of Pablo Escobar. I'm gonna show you where is Pablo right now. Actually, he was exhumated. There are just a couple of remains of his body here. This is the Pablo Escobar graveyard. He was born on December 1, 1949, and he died or he got shot in December 2, 1993.
Today, Pablo Escobar is buried right here with various of his family. And the crazy things about Pablo Escobar's family, a lot of them, they were born in December and they died in December. So as you can see right here, Pablo Emilio Escobar Gaviria was born December 1st, 1949, and he died December 2nd, 1993.
Right beside him, we have the rest of his family. Luis Fernando Escobar Gaviria. He was one of his brother. He died. He was very young when he died.
To him is his younger brother, Luis Fernando Escobar Gaviria. He was born December 28 and he died December 25th in Christmas Day. The way that he died was crazy. Pablo Escobar gave a car to him for his graduation. Obviously, he being very inexperienced, right? What he ended up doing, went out drinking and driving with his girlfriend, and then the way back, they were doing a checkpoint. He didn't want it to stop in the checkpoint. They passed right through, so they got into a car chase. He crashed, and then he died with his girlfriend and the family. From that day on, that's when Pablo Escobar started hating cops because he believed or he thought that the cops killed him, but he died in an accident.
Here we have other members of his family. This is the grave of his mother, Hermilda Gaviria Escobar. He was one of the loves of his life, his mother.
Pablo Escobar's mom, October 26th of 2006. And then right here we have Pablo Escobar's best friend, mom's best friend, Gloria Angelica Gaviria. I guess they love her so much that they decided to bury her here with the family. Now we have Ines Ofelia Gaviria.
I think I'm having problems
That was
with
Pablo
my
Escobar's
internet.
older auntie, his mom's older sister. She almost reached into 100 years. She was 97 years old. She was not born in December, but she died in December. And also, she was the owner of the house where Pablo Escobar was hiding for those 18 months when he escaped from prison. We're gonna jump over here. Alvaro Jesus Agudelo. Alvaro Jesus Agudelo was the driver, personal driver of Pablo Escobar. He was so loyal to Pablo Escobar that when Pablo Escobar decided to go into prison, when the government allowed him to build his own prison, Pablo Escobar, to the point that whenever Pablo Escobar will eat, before Pablo Escobar eat, he will eat first. That's how loyal he was. When Pablo Escobar escaped from La Catedral as well, he escaped with him as well. And he was for those 18 months that he was in the run, and the house that was owned by Pablo Escobar's auntie. He died in December as well. This is the same day as Pablo Escobar. And what a coincidence! He was not a family member of the Escobar family. He was just a friend. And look, he was born December 18, 1956, and he died the same day as Pablo Escobar. Now we have Juan Manuel Escobar Echeverri. That was Pablo Escobar's dad's brother. He didn't die in December, but he was born in December. So look at what coincidence this family had for that month. Now we're gonna jump into this person right here. That was Pablo Escobar's dad, Abel de Jesus Escobar Echeverri. He died October 25th of 2001. So you see, December and October, tragical months for the Escobar family. Now these rocks, they were brought by the family from the Hacienda Nápoles because Pablo Escobar's family tried to bury him there, but they didn't allow him to bury him there.
The Hacienda Nápoles or the Nápoles Ranch was the place where Pablo Escobar lived during a lot of years, and that was crazy because he was like constructing like a zoo, and he brought uh, elephants, hippopotamus. That was the biggest zoo in the world at the time. Any animal you imagine was there and free. He didn't like animals to be like inside a cage. So all kind of animals, the most exotic animals were there in the Napolis Ranch. Again, uh, giraffes, hippopotamus, elephants, eagles, whatever. That was like the Michael Jackson Neverland Park, but multiply that for by 10,000 times. That was crazy.
There's the guys. Okay.
As you know, this is a very traditional place, historical place. So welcome to the history of Medellin, Colombia, guys. And let's continue with the tour to know a little bit.
So Hiawatha, they probably didn't want all the fanfare at the zoo, so they wouldn't let him be buried there. But actually, that was like the magical place for him. You know, he had his family there, his friends. Geographically, that was very strategic, far away from the civilization. So it was hard for the army or for the police to go there. It was easy for him to handle the cocaine business there, and again, he had any kind of animals there. He was a lover of animals, you know. So eagles, parrots, if you name it. That was, and actually today that's like a touristic place because there are still some animals there, but because after he was killed, the hippopotamus, the reproduction was really like not controlled. So there are a lot of hippopotamus in Colombia everywhere. So they are killing hippopotamus. It's crazy. That's another story, but let's continue with the video.
About this cemetery here. ¿Qué haces acá? Visitando Pablo Escobar. So he is just visiting Pablo Escobar grave. Mucha gente viene aquí a visitar a Pablo. A lot of people comes here to visit Pablo Escobar grave. And okay, thank you. As you can see here, there are two pieces of stones next to Pablo's grave. The stones were taken from the Hacienda Nápoles, who was the place where Pablo Escobar lived part of his life in Colombia, far away from the civilization, trying to hide from the Colombian army. He built his empire there. Micrófono. Muy amable.
So this is a little bit crazy. I went to the mausoleum. I don't know what's the pronunciation or how do you pronounce that in English, but that's where people that who were cremated are there. And I went there with my camera, and I was kicked off by the security guard. He told me there's a lot of information here, or like you are not supposed to be here, or so just get out. So that was a little bit crazy.
No, nada. Vamos. Que va a estar bacana porque lo grabé. No, me puedes quedar sin una chica para que sacando. Sí.
So that was kind of weird. I didn't know that I was not supposed to film or to record there. The security guard told me that I was not supposed to be there, that there was a lot of information. I don't know what kind of information is there. I don't understand. So anyway, was just invited to get out from the mausoleum. What's up, Tech That Hippie? Thanks for being here, man. That's that's the motto of Pablo Escobar, or the logo, let's say, the slogan. I prefer a grave in Colombia instead of a jail in United States. So that's why I think he killed himself. I don't believe the narrative that states that he was killed in that confrontation on that roof we just presented at the beginning of the video. I prefer to be in the grave in Colombia than in a jail cell in the United States. So that's, to me, that's clear. He likely killed himself. Take that hippie. I noticed that was Pablo. Colombia looks Colombia. Everyone pronounces or Colombia. It's not Colombia, it's Colombia, but it's not your fault. It's our fault. It looks like a beautiful country. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And right now, come on, people, come to Colombia. Medellin is beautiful. There are a lot of touristic places. San Andres Island is beautiful. Cartagena, Barranquilla, Bogota, the capital, is really nice. So you are welcome to come to Colombia, guys. And right now it's really safe. There are a lot of tourists here. If you come with Canadian or American or European money, it's really cheap here. So you're gonna have a good time. So that was the video, guys. I hope you liked it. I don't know if you have any comment. I just want to say that I understand that this guy was praised by a lot of people, especially poor people, homeless people, people who didn't have any possibility, any chance in life. He constructed a lot of houses for them, but at the same time, he was a monster. He was planting bombs in planes. He was trying to kill a potential presidential candidate, and he thought that this guy was in a plane, or he just put a bomb in that plane. He killed like 200, almost 300 persons trying to kill just one presidential candidate. He didn't care about the rest of the people that was flying on that plane, and that was the same in buildings, and he was a mad person. So I understand the 50-50 perceptions, but anyway, Humanimal, glad you got back home to see family. Yeah, that was really good. It's always good to see family. One day I would like to go to New Zealand or Australia, and that's a nice place where you live, Humanimal. Here, water. You did an excellent job on that video, Cryptex. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, and I had fun. I was with my family, so yeah, it was cool. Thank you for watching the video. Humanimal. It's weird seeing him referred when he was a criminal. He was just a mad person, in my opinion. And the worst is that he was a smart guy. He was really intelligent, but when he was trying to become like a politician, he had like dreams to be the president of Colombia. So he went into a war with the army, with another politicians, etc. So that was like the end, or the beginning of the end of Pablo Escobar. Humanimal, I would like to do like some kind of collaboration with you. I think you're a really smart person, and you have a good and a very interesting ideas about Delphi. So in the description of my channel, you have my email. If you want to send me some email, we can fix something to do some kind of collaboration, or just a chat. It's gonna be cool. I don't. Maybe I'm gonna. Let's talk a little bit about Delphi here. Give me just 1 second. I'm going to share one of my last videos, and let me know what do you think about it. It's just gonna take 1 second, guys. Sorry for that. Okay, I'm gonna start with this video, and then so at the same time, when I was doing the Colombian trip stuff, by luck, I met an Odinist in Colombia, just in the middle of the mountains. So I showed him a representation of the crime scene picture to see what was his idea or his perception about the crime scene. Do you think this was like an Odinist situation? Do you think this was like a human sacrifice? This guy is in Colombia. He's in the middle of the mountains. He doesn't know anything about Delphi. So I was interested about his ideas about that. So I'm gonna play that video for you guys and let me know what you think about it.
El crimen a José Manuel para que me dé su opinión como experto.
Sorry. Just gonna come back to the beginning.
Bueno, también le acabo de mostrar la representación de la escena del crimen a José Manuel para que me dé su opinión como experto y ver si para él esos arreglos geométricos de los palos que pusieron sobre las niñas representan runas o no. Entonces, él me va a dar su opinión pues desde el punto de vista de lo de inicio.
Bueno, desde mi conocimiento y desde lo que he analizado pues al respecto de muchas cosas que he aprendido, no veo específicamente, no reconozco que sea como un símbolo específico, que se conozca dentro de la mitología o que sea muy específico, no. Lo que sí hay es que hay runas compuestas y que cada persona puede crear sus runas. Entonces tú te puedes identificar, por ejemplo, con una runa que represente ya sea tu nombre o que represente una frase que te quiere representar o algo que quiera hacer parte tuyo. Tú puedes crear las runas en base a frases, a lo que represente cada runa por su letra como alfabeto o por lo que representa cada runa por su poder. Entonces tú puedes unir varias runas, como caso por ejemplo Feju, que es la F así, tú le puedes agregar digamos a Algis y puedes hacer una runa compuesta. Si tú de pronto reconoces a alguien y ves que esa persona deja muchas marcaciones, esa es la runa de esa persona. Entonces si es una especie de firma puede serlo y puede agregarlo, porque por ejemplo en unas se veía como una especie de Y con un palo en la mitad. Eso por ejemplo es la forma del guerrero espiritual, que es así. Entonces si eso es frecuente y se ve en varias partes, se podría decir que es una especie de firma. Ya sería desencriptar más o menos la cantidad de runas y ver qué podría ser lo que la persona quiere llamar con esas runas, o si simplemente es un nombre expresado en esa simbología. Pero no parece ser como algo específico como los que uno conoce, que es como el yelmo del terror, que es una runa muy específica que se encuentra, o como como la brújula de Odín, específicamente, por ejemplo, que son simbologías que uno reconoce muy fácilmente en su composición, que no son como la runa compuesta, pero no, esas no las reconozco. Puede ser algo más como lo que te explico. Desde lo que conozco, pues creería que puede ser algo así.
Muchas gracias, José Manuel. So this was he just gave us his opinion as an expert in Odinist Nordic culture about the crime scene of Abby and Levy, the Delphi's case. So thank you so much, José Manuel. Thank you guys. See you.
Que esté muy bien, hasta luego. Espero les sirva la información que les puede dar.
So that was crazy. I was in Colombia, in the middle of the mountains. I was not expecting to do anything about Delphi. I was just thinking about my mini documentary about Pablo Escobar, and I found Odinist, a Colombian Odinist in the middle of the mountain. So that was really crazy. So I was interested in his opinion about the case, because he didn't have any bias. He didn't have any information about the crime. He was not like a pro prosecution of or a pro how can I say, defense. Nothing. He was just someone who didn't know anything about the case. So I had some pictures in my cell phone. I took the pictures that were done by True Crime Design. I had some print screen or some screenshots, and I showed him that representation of the crime scene. And I was asking him, what do you think about this? This is like an Odinism stuff, yes or not? What do you think about that? And well, you just saw the answers he gave to me according to him, and that's not like the final or the real answer in the world. I know everyone can have different opinions, but according to him, according to his knowledge, according what he knows about Odinism, he was not able to recognize any Odinism rune or composite rune. One interesting thing he said about that is that anyway, it's possible for a criminal or for a killer to have his own signature. And in my opinion, regardless of if the killer was an Odinist or not, that configuration of sticks, that type of, I don't know, arrangement, let's say, to me is not random. And when you see the pictures that asterisk is perfectly done, it's not random. It's a perfect asterisk. And in my opinion, this is something that some kind of signature is some kind of symbol, personal symbol for the killer. Again, that's just my personal opinion about that. What are the odds you would meet him? Exactly. That's crazy. 0.0000001%. No chance. So this is crazy. Sometimes like fate or destiny. It's crazy, huh? 100% with you. Humanimal. He stated what most reasonable people think. What did he say about the idea of human sacrifice? Actually, I didn't ask him. And the thing is that I was in the middle of the mountains. I was heading to Medellin. So I didn't have too much time to talk to him. But I have his email. I just talked to him before yesterday or anyway this week, because that the question you're asking me right now was one of the questions another creator asked me. I think it was Rukus, if I'm not mistaken. And anyways, I'm still in contact with this guy, and the idea is to have a live with him, and I'm gonna ask him about the human sacrifice. That's a very good question. I didn't have time to talk to him about that. It's amazing you bumped onto him and got to interview him. Yeah, and I have more material that is not it's maybe not that interesting to you guys, but he was reading the runes. He had like a stand, and a fish, how do you say? Anyway, he said, I'm reading the Odinism or the Nordic runes for you. So he was reading the oracle, and I paid him to read the oracle to me, and I recorded that reading. It was really cool, and the guy knows a lot about Odinism. It was crazy. A Colombian guy in the middle of the mountains. And if you go to Norway or to Finland or those Nordic countries, you can expect to meet people with that kind of knowledge, But in Colombia, that was really random, crazy. And anyway, as you say here, high water, fate. That's fate. That's destiny. I don't know. I'm so absorbed in that case that sometimes things just come to me in that way. I don't know. Anyway, guys, do you have any question, or do you want me to talk about something specific here about Delphi? I'm just maybe gonna go back and I'm gonna play one of my recent videos too. Give me just 1 second, guys. Yeah. It's not gonna be. Now that we're talking about Odinism, I don't know. Let me this video I made a couple of months ago. I still relevant, so maybe we can talk about it in the chat. So let me know what's your opinion about this. This is the time where I was using my mask, but now mask is off. Channel is Cryptex, and today we're going to explore the Odinist angle. I think this is an interesting subject. It's fascinating. Stay with me. Thank you, guys. So let's take a look. This is the geographical location of the events. We have Delphi, Logansport, and Rocheville. Of course, we start with Abby and Levy, the date of the murders, February 13, 2017. We have the first actor, who is Logan Holder. He was dating Abby at the time of the murders. Remember that his father, Brad Holder, posted in Facebook that the FBI and the state police questioned him because Levy and his son Logan were friends. That's weird because actually Logan Holder was Abby's boyfriend, but in his Facebook post, he said that they questioned him because Logan was Levy's friend, which is true. They were friends, but we would expect to have Abby in the picture, not only Levy. Abby was supposed to be more important for Logan than Levy. So this is weird, and we can see the same thing in the front. So just to interrupt a little bit here, that statement from Brad Holder is it's kind of weird or interesting to me, in the sense that he's trying to correlate or to put Libby and Logan together. But we know that Logan was dating Abby, not Libby. And there are rumors that Logan was dating Libby and Abby at the same time. I don't know if that's correct or not. But in this post from Logan, from Brad Holder, he's trying to correlate Libby and Logan instead of Abby and Logan. That's interesting to me. That's weird. Hi, Water. I'm so glad you got rid of that mask. Me too. I'm really glad about that. I have to read the lips sometimes, so it was hard to understand what you were saying. So thanks for losing the mask. I hope you are understanding much better now. My accent is not easy. I know that. So thank you for that. Humanima, he was questioned on February 14. I think Logan was too old for Abby at 17. Yeah, but at that age, 14, 15, 17, even 18, I don't know. No, but that's a good point. Here we have Hi Watto. she says, or he says, he also stated that in his interview, Libby, not Abby. Is not your accent, is my hearing. Okay, I hope so. Humanimal, Logan was socially stunted. Good point. Let's continue with the video. Frank's memorandum. Remember that in the memorandum they say father of Logan Holder, ex-boyfriend of Libby. So I don't know if this is a mistake or if Logan Holder was actually dating Libby and Abby at the same time or at different times. But it's interesting. They're trying to connect Logan Holder with Libby, even if he was actually Abby's boyfriend. So now we have the second actor, who is Brad Holder. He is the father of Logan. And let's remember the situation about the Brad Holder's image, which was similar to the crime scene. And the story is going to be told by Patrick Westphal here. This is an interview conducted by Slot Intuition on his channel.
It was an image of two young girls who were laying down and they had sticks laid over them. And the defense is trying to say that it was very similar to the crime scene.
I'd have to see that photo before I could have any thought or opinion on it. It's creepy as hell, nonetheless, to hear about it.
Here we have Brad Holder by himself. I think we remember this clip, which I find really disrespectful to the girls.
So in the past, I've been accused of killing Abby and Libby, and so is my son, Logan Holder. Me and my son, Logan Holder, had nothing to do with the murder of Abby and Libby. And we don't know who did. I don't know, maybe Bigfoot did it. I think he's in Canada somewhere. No, seriously, we don't know who did it. So please leave us alone. Haiti Perkins, I don't know who you are, but you're being a real Karen. I don't know who killed him. Please leave my family alone. I mean, seriously. I mean, if you're going to confront me, just leave social media out of it. You know, come confront me like a man or a woman, whatever you are. I mean, this has been years, okay? I don't know who did it. I honestly don't know. I wish they would catch him. It'd be nice. Maybe you people would leave me the hell alone. So please, I mean, before you know the facts. So my last video pissed you off. Well, this one's really going to piss you off. So you don't like my hat? You think I'm the murderer because I'm wearing this hat, right? Well, how about this hat? This hat trigger you? What kind of haircut do you have, Karen? I mean, I definitely have a dickhead haircut. Okay, fact one. I was at work in Buffalo, Indiana, at Liberty Landfill when the murders occurred. Fact two, my son was at school when the murders occurred. Right here in Logansport. You're worried about me making a comment about Bigfoot? I'm sorry, I should.
Remember that regardless of he's involved or not in the murders, I found that comment about the Bigfoot is really disrespectful. And anyways, if you are not involved in the murders, why do you go out to give explanations or justification about what were you doing or not? So I don't know, it's just weird. You're not supposed to do that, but even if you feel the need to do it, at least do it in a respectful way, you know? You don't say stuff like that, like Bigfoot stuff. He was like laughing or making fun about the murders. I really don't like that. I'm not saying he was involved or not, but that was really disrespectful, in my opinion. Brad Holder and Logan Holder, they went to the funerals. This is the sketch that was made based on the testimony of the witness Teresa Liebert, the guy she encountered at 8:30 in the morning of the date of the murders. Most of the people say that the sketch looks like Elvis Fields. To me, it looks a lot to Logan Holder. Logan Holder posted on his Facebook page that he was supposed to meet the girls the day of the murders, something like the Keegan Klein statement. I was supposed to meet them, but they didn't show up, something like that. It's not the same thing, but you understand my point.
What did you know about Abby and Logan's relationship?
What do you mean by IRL? I think Logan and Abby were more involved online than IRL. What is IRL? Humaymal, if you can tell me there in the comment section. I don't understand that. I think that's a pic of Levy Holder at the Masons meeting, not in real life. Okay. Some people, after watching my video, they told me that the sketch is mostly related to Levy Holder and not to Logan Holder. That's a good point. I think the picture I put in my video was Levy and not Logan. So that's maybe my mistake. Let's continue with the video.
All online, teenage, small social skill type stuff. A lot of these kids can't talk. You can be best friends online. I've watched my kids do it. They'll talk with somebody through text, and they're within 5 feet of them, and just they can't interact. They can't socialize. They can't do any of that stuff anymore. It's almost sad to watch, but I think it was all online, talking and chatting.
Yeah, because Brad Holder would come visit you in Delphi. I wondered if maybe that's when Logan Holder, his son, was meeting up with Abby and Libby or something like that.
No, Logan would never venture away from my house and go anywhere. He's staying around with my boys in the backyard, or they would walk across the street to Canal Park, or the other way across the street to the canal itself. So he never ventured off into town and wandered by himself. Logan never made any comments, anything about the girl. I didn't find out that they were even talking with each other until after I was done with Brad Holder, done having him come around my house. And I do believe the situation with the girls had happened. I didn't even know that those two were even talking until afterwards. Logan didn't talk to me a lot. He didn't talk to anybody a lot. He wasn't Captain Get the Gab. He was just there because his dad brought him. Sometimes he had more of the aura about him that he didn't really want to be there. He's just coming along with DAD to hang out at my house for our get-togethers we had 2 or 3 times a month. But no, he never spoke about anything in that sense. Just typical teenager ramble.
Now we have Patrick Westphal in the picture.
She had information that when Brad had told her that when the relationship between him and Patrick Westphal fell apart was when they were doing a ritual near a river, and that there was a fallout because Westphal wanted to move beyond just sacrificing animals. So, I mean, you can intuit what they meant, or what he was saying. Westphal said, I want to I want to accelerate it. I want to move to the next level.
Ooh.
Forget animals, which obviously sounds like it means people. And what's
Obviously.
above an animal, right? She also said another really interesting thing that came out to offer proof is that Brad said that he had seen, and he, of course, telling, so it's basically double hearsay, that he had seen on Westfall's phone a video of girls being posed in a certain way with sticks on them, like on like a video.
Wait, now who on whose phone?
So Brad told Amber, his now ex-wife, that on Patrick's phone he had seen a video of the girls, of not Abby and Libby.
Right. No, I get it. I get it. Other girls.
Other girls.
Let's remember what he said about the end of his friendship with Brad Holder.
He was starting to be untruthful about a lot of stuff. I would hear stories from people about how, he would claim to save my life in Afghanistan on numerous occasions, diving on me in guard towers while rockets were flying through, just off the wall crap. And one day his boy texted one of my kids and said, well, we're running late today. We'll be there in a little bit. And it's because we're at church. And so from there, I confronted him at my house about the whole church issue, going to church and then coming to my house and playing also true, and told him, man, can't be in both worlds with me, dude. Pick one or the other. If you want to go and do the Abrahamic stuff, feel free. As long as it makes you a better person, go do that. If you want to be over here doing this with me, then do this with me, and we'll make it happen. And he's like, well, I guess I'll just go ahead and split then. And that was it. There was no fight, screaming, arguing, body slamming, anything.
I just think that this guy, Patrick Westphal, is a narcissist guy. Is something there. I don't know. When you see Brad Holder, he's a big guy. He was military, and when you are listening to Patrick Westphal, it's like how can I say that? Like if Brad Holder was his dog, I don't know. There's something there, or Brad Holder was really weak, and this guy is really strong, or I don't know. I don't buy this speech right here. He's making us think about Brad Holder. It's like if Brad Holder was his dog. I don't know, guys. I don't know what do you think about that, but there's some weird thing here in the relationship between Patrick Westphal and Brad Holder.
Like that, it was two dudes talking in my living room, and he went on his way, and I let him go on his way in peace. He never even came back to my house to collect a book bag and some leather working stuff, hole punches and twine to make things out of leather with, and never spoke to the man again. Not a phone call, Facebook, nothing.
Johnny Messer. What a mess.
Okay, so Messer's the guy that says they were recruiting in this area.
Right. So Johnny Messer was a guy recruiting Vinlanders down in Rushville by talking to two other guys that had said, yeah, Messer was trying to recruit us to be Vinlanders.
Johnny's ex-girlfriend, Taylor Hornaday, told police that Johnny Messer and Patrick Westphal were like brothers, reads the document. She also told police that she had allowed Johnny to borrow her car on or around Valentine's Day 2017 and that Johnny drove her car up there, to Delphi, to hang with his Vinlander friends. When Messer returned the vehicle to Hornaday, she apparently told investigators there was dried blood over the side of the car, and Messer allegedly refused to discuss the details of how it got there. Johnny Messer's ex-girlfriend further stated that it took her several car washes to finally remove the blood, the document continues. Meanwhile, Messer has claimed that he had never, not once in his life, been to Delphi, home of his brother, Patrick Westphal, and near the home of his other Odenite brother, Brad Holder. According to the document, Messer's ex-girlfriend described him and Holder as two of the most violent people she knew, who, in her opinion, were fully capable of being involved in the murders. Johnny Messer's ex-girlfriend further stated that a motive for their involvement in the murder of Abby and Libby might be the concept of blood in and blood out, which means social acceptance into their secret circles, reads the memorandum.
Did Messer? Oh, no. Messer.
So this is interesting. This is like a conflict of statements here. So according to Patrick Westphal, Brad Holder was nothing. He was not able to do like an animal sacrifice, let's say. He was a weak person. But according to Johnny Messer, he was a strong guy who was able to commit the crimes. So there's a different perspective here between what Patrick Westphal is telling us and what allegedly Johnny Messer thinks about Brad Holder. So that's interesting to me.
Never did. He was a probate, and he got, like I said, you're hanging around for so long. You're a probate for so long, and that gives them every chance to find anything out in your character that's not going to be something that they want in the club. It didn't take long to find out all the scandal and his crookedness and all that counterfeit money spending and the bed bugs. His old lady carrying bugs around in her purse and pill bottles. It wasn't long before I was on my way down there to pull him. He got probate. You can see him standing there in a picture somewhere. I thought I saw his probate patch on, but he never made it into actually being a patch holder or a made man. I yanked his shit. Pulling Johnny Messer's patch. It was the person that was probating me. The person that put the probate patch on me is the one that's said this needed to be done, and I said, "No worries, fam, I got you," and I went and did it.
So this is crazy. So Johnny Messer's uncle, he lived with Elvis Fields in Rossville. That's really interesting.
So it turns out that Johnny Messer's uncle, Billy Messer, lived with Elvis Fields. So
What?
there's your connection to Elvis Fields.
You're
So
kidding me right now.
Why would I kid about something? Everyone likes to discount Elvis Fields saying what he said because he has a low IQ. I don't buy that. I think that a guy with a low IQ is the guy who walks back to a police car and says, "Hey, if I spit on the girls' heads and but I can give you is a bright guy doing that? I don't know."
So
And I keep hearing people poo-poo the antlers.
And I know you guys you maybe don't like too much Bob Motta, but I think he has a point here. The fact Elvis Fields, he has a low intellectual coefficient. He has like the IQ of a 5 or 6 years old child. That's not a justification to disregard Elvis Fields as a potential suspect here in this case. I'm not saying that he committed the crime, but I have the feeling that he potentially he was there at one point at the crime scene, or that he had some information because of his connections with Johnny Messer or Brad Holder or Patrick Westphal. So that statement about he was kind of retarded, or he had the IQ of a 5 years old child. Sorry, I don't buy that. And in that sense, I agree with Bob Mossa here.
So Click has seen the evidence, he's seen the photos, and he said like unequivocally there were sticks out of
Antlers.
out of Abby's hair. Okay, like, so people keep saying that doesn't exist. We now have testimony from Todd Click that it did exist, and that
This
was
is crazy. Like, I am shocked.
crazy.
It's
This
insane.
was the closest thing to like
Frank's
a
memo.
trial that you're gonna see. You know, like this was like what I've been waiting for a year and a half with the motion to dismiss.
It sounds like they're trying to connect this Elvis person, Elvis Fields, to you through Johnny Messer.
That'd be the only way they could do it. There ain't no one else in this state that had any interaction with that guy besides Johnny Messer. This guy was a nobody to the club. Only Johnny Messer.
So to complete the circle here, remember that it was Becky Patty who alerted law enforcement about the potential involvement of Brian Holder in the murders. I guess because she knew that Logan Holder had a relationship with the girls. Now let's put in the picture the 3 officers from Rushville that were investigating the Odinist connection. We're talking about Todd Click, Kevin Murphy, and Greg Ferenczi. So remember that Greg Ferenczi was killed by an ex-correction officer who was allegedly involved in Aryan supremacy and Odinism and this kind of stuff.
He was an amazing person, whether it was about a meth lab or human trafficking. He would do everything possible to find everything about that particular crime. And he was a teacher. He did so many more things that I can't sit here and explain to all of you. Those of us that work with him know.
Detective Ferenczi is survived by 2 adult children.
We had just an absolute explosion of methamphetamine manufacturing and methamphetamine sales, methamphetamine use in this county, this city, this metro area.
So please pay attention to this. Maybe you already know about that for sure, but it's important to remember this. That was the meeting between Todd Click and Jerry Holman. And this was really creepy, in my opinion. It looks to me that Jerry Holman was trying to send a message to Todd Click by having Brad Holder in the waiting room at that moment. Also, remember that Brad Holder was a Freemason.
Yeah, because I think he's a Freemason too, right? So he's kind of like gets into these groups, tries to get into as many groups as he can.
Yeah, he changes his image a lot, his appearance a lot, his actions a lot, what he's concerned about at the time. Like, that man is just constantly changing. He's a chameleon, absolutely.
And Nick, the prosecutor, he was part of the same Masonic lodge. Funny coincidence. The Frank memorandum was just the initial Molotov cocktail, something incendiary, something that they knew we were not going to buy. They are not stupid. They knew that we were to say, this is bullshit. But they didn't put everything they had at that time. They were just sending like a mini bomb, like drops of information, just to start creating a seed in the mind of the public opinion. So then there is the hearings. Now we know about the Patrick Westphal video with girls staged with sticks on them. Now we know about Johnny Messer with a video where some guy is being kidnapped. Now we know that there were more cell phones in a radio of 100 yards from the crime scene. So every time we learn more significant pieces of information. I'm not saying we're buying this theory, but it doesn't seem that crazy as it was at the beginning. And I think that the defense is going to continue to release pieces of significant and revelatory information about this little by little. And I really think that they have something big under their sleeves. That's what I think based on the recent developments about this case. So I'm going to formulate a very far-fetched theory about the Odinist angle.
Don't do that.
Is that far-fetched that for my theory to work, there's an initial condition that needs to be there for the theory to work. And that condition is that any alibi of Patrick Westphal, Elvis Fields, and Brad Holder was fabricated.
Don't do that.
We have to place Westphal, Holder, and Elvis Fields at the crime scene.
Don't do that.
Let's say that these three guys were performing the usual stuff they do, the usual bloods in the woods near Delphi, near the Monon High Bridge, the date of the murders. And they were not intending to kill anyone. They were just doing the usual ritual. They had the usual stuff, knives, sacrificing animals, and let's say that they were high on alcohol, they were high on drugs, and they were looking for an animal to sacrifice. And at that point, they noticed the girls on the bridge. Patrick Westphal, the leader of the group, instructed Brad Holder to go to bring the girls. As we know, Brad Holder was the follower, the yes sir. He would be happy to please Patrick Westphal in that scenario. Elvis Fields was there just happy to be part of the gang. And remember that Patrick Westphal wanted to go beyond the animal sacrifice. So that was an opportunistic scenario for him to commit or to carry out his fantasy. And the combination of the Odinist philosophy, the influence of the drugs and the alcohol, all of this together led to the human sacrifice of one of the girls or both of them. They drain Abby's blood in whatever they used to conduct the animal sacrifice. In this case, it was a human sacrifice. They collected the blood and they painted the F on the tree. Elvis Fields did spit on Abby's head. They put some sticks above Abby's head. According to Elvis Fields, that were antlers. And that was because Abby was a troublemaker. Troublemaker maybe because she was resisting the attack or something like that. I remember that Elvis Fields did the confession to his sister on the 14th. So when he was talking about antlers, he couldn't know about the specifics of the crime scene. In less than 1 day, I don't think he could have that information. That's why, and this is not far-fetched at this point, I actually think that he had some information. Either he was there or at the crime scene, or he knew someone that was at the crime scene the day before or the same day on the 14th. It's impossible for him to have that specifics. Even if there were no antlers for him, that could be just an interpretation. Sticks around Abby's head were antlers for him. That was my far-fetched theory. What do you think about that?
Why did you do that? Why? Why did you do that, Karen? Oh my God. Oh my God.
That was all for today, guys. Thank you so much again for being here. See you next week. And let your comments in the comment section. Hit the like, subscribe. So, I don't know, guys, if you have questions or comments or anything to say. If not, I'm just gonna go. Just gonna say bye-bye to you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm gonna just say bye-bye to every one of you. Humanimal, thank you so much for being here. As I told you, I love your thoughts about the case. If we can collaborate, it's gonna be great. Just send me an email. I have high water. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing your name properly, but thank you for being here. It was nice to see you. Deja vu, as usual. Thanks for being here. You are one of the loyals. Appreciate your presence, and all of you guys, thank you for that. I hope you enjoyed the show, and keep in touch. So see you later, guys. Thank you so much. Humanimal. Bye. See you later. Thanks for sharing your visit home. Thank you for being here, Humanimal. Stay safe. Bye-bye, guys.